it's Tiffany's content, and let's talk about these earthquakes that are following along right with these investigations that we have. Right now, let's take a look. There's an Invest 97.8 out there, right there in the Indian Ocean, right where a 5.7 magnitude earthquake hit. Then we have an investigation right there east of Africa, and that is right in line with that earthquake that hit in the Indian Ocean at a 5.7 magnitude today. Then, if you take a look, there was an earthquake that hit 2 days ago in Japan, and that was at like a 6.7 magnitude, and that is right in line with all of the investigations that we're looking at. So if you think about it, you have an investigation, an earthquake, an investigation, an earthquake, an investigation. So everything is lining up. I'm going to show you again right here, and in between those investigations are earthquake, or it was an earthquake. Oh, I'm still watching it for you. I'll keep you updated. Let's take a look at these current temperatures in the United States. You have 50 over there in, California. You got 60s down there in Florida, and then you got, the upper West Coast with some 20 degree weather over there in those Great Falls, and again 40 in the Midwest. We got some warm temperatures today. In fact, these has been on record for the warmest winter ever in, I think it was Milwaukee. So we got to take a look at that, guys. It's an El Nino year. Current watches right now, you're going to have some of that winter storms coming in with that. It's kind of like an atmospheric river over there by California, but it's definitely some rain and wind that came through, and it's going to have some snow that follows it. And then you see that what it feels like is 0 degrees over there in the Great Falls in the mountains. And then you got, some still 40s over there, but this is the feels like temperature. So this will give you an overall general, and it's still warm in a lot of places where it should be cold. And you can check out my pneumonia weather video. It'll give you a great idea of this weather changes, and it's just gonna cause a lot of people being sick with it being cold and hot and cold. And just make sure you're wearing a jacket. So let's take a look at that wind. That wind is still heavy in certain areas. You're gonna see that as that swirl that was coming up out of the Midwest go through, you'll see some more wind. This is the precipitation for today, and it's easing up a little bit. You're gonna see where that cyclone was at over there in the Midwest area, but again, and that rain follows it. But again, everything is starting to clear up down in the south, but you're going to see more of that rain coming through on the California West Coast side, and this is for the next few days. So definitely you're going to see some rain activity in the next few days. And just look at the Gulf. The Gulf is definitely trying to spruce up some New Year's rain, watching those streets out for the new year. Let's take a look at the action, and you can see just where that rain is coming in on the West Coast and trying to turn into snow. And then over there in the Great, Lakes, you're going to see that snow coming up out of Canada and trying to go into the Midwest area and up through the East Coast. This is the day temperatures for today, and look at that. It's kind of warm, but it's more moderate temperatures in the south, but you can see that it's more warm on the California side going into South California. So people may be just enjoying the weather, but be careful because it can definitely be some pneumonia weather out there, especially in New Mexico out there, and also Arizona. Make sure, in Florida, make sure that you're dressing appropriate, because this is what it turns into at night. So the temperatures can drop pretty, significant, but again, you have all that cold air right in that region up there, the upper, West Coast region, going into the Great Falls and into the mountains. Very cold temperatures for tonight, so I can definitely see some negative temperatures in the Great Falls going down into those mountains overnight. Still moderate down there in Florida, but again, we have some cold temperatures in the Midwest. So let's take a look at that frost freeze to today. It has dipped down. It's way low, and we felt it this morning in the south. I'm telling you, look at, I told you it was going over to that East Coast, and you can see that it's moving over to that East Coast, and you'll feel these temperatures mostly during the daytime. When you wake up in the morning, that frost freeze will hit you, especially when you turn those corners. Okay, so make sure that you're aware of these frost freeze temperatures, because that is what's getting people sick. They're not looking at the overall. Let's take a look at the current snow. guess what? When I was doing this video, when I first started, there was none, okay? No current snowfall at all. No current snow. Hey, if you got some snow in your state, your city, your town, can you please, comment below? I'm sure there's still some leftover snow somewhere because this map just cannot be accurate, okay? I mean, it's December, the end of December, going into the new year. Where is the snow? So there's a little bit in Illinois. We just see that this is our snow map. So you'll see that there's about not even an inch, maybe an inch. There you go, an inch in Illinois. Will it stick? This is very, different for this time of year. So make sure that you're doing all you can in this weather because January, it's going to give you what you've been asking for. That snow will be falling in January. So let's take a look at the next 48 hours where that snow will be. And you'll see some coming over into Washington with that cyclone that was coming out of the Midwest. And then that snowfall that I was telling you about in California. So you're going to see all that snow happening. But again, it's not very much. And I heard that there's some sprinkles already coming in Alabama and Georgia. So I'm going to show you another map. And we're going to see just where that, new snowfall is, starting to produce some flurries at. So let's take a look. Okay, yes, you're going to see some in Alabama and Georgia. Just, some sprinkles as they come out of Illinois. But it's always good to look on that radar where you see where that rain and that snow is meeting, so, and then you see that ice up in Maine. And it's definitely going to be nice winter storms up there, very tip of Maine. So make sure that you're aware of that. And I'm sure everyone who lives there already know that these things will happen. They're used to this time of year. And look at it coming right out of Canada, trying to go right into that East Coast. But again, this is your, snowfall that you have for today. So there you have it, right before the new year, little snow flurries. Okay, let's take a look at the current surface weather map. And you see that low pressure coming up out of there with those snow flurries, down going into, Georgia. But if you blink, you might miss it as it collides with that high pressure. So again, everything is starting to calm down a little bit. You see the ocean has some things going on in there, a lot of precipitation in the ocean. And as it tries to, work its way out into the Atlantic, but you see all where that, low pressure is on the map, you can see that it's definitely trying to come out, but build some ice over there up in Maine and a lot of rain. But again, this is, what we have for the current surface area. And again, looking at the West Coast, you're going to see that rain is coming in on this surface area map. And again, you're going to see that snow following in after it as it, worked its way into a mixed precipitation. And again, see, there you go, a lot of precipitation coming in on that California side. And this may last throughout the day, so you'll feel some coming in and out, but definitely have some snow more over in that mid region over in California area. So make sure that you're checking your local listings for that activity as it will be coming down, for today and meet the weekend. Let's look at that sky cover. Look at that, more clear skies. That blue is going to indicate more clear skies, but definitely still cold out there. And the gray is up to 90% of cloud cover. Thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to show you a pattern of what we have with these investigations and earthquakes partnering up together. Make sure you're watching Tiffanys content. It's Tiffanys content. Like, share, subscribe.